Hey everyone, Deadpool here
And Radar
of the Black Kings Tactical Paintball team. We're now finally doing the review of the T15. Sorry it's taken a while for us to actually come out with a review of the paintball marker. A little bit of life kind of caught up with us. A few of us actually went to the MAG event, which I must hold off for. You guys do not know what the MAG event is. It's the Military Assault Gear Magnet event at Hollywood Sports Park. Information about that is actually going to be in the description, and if Cody or I know how to do it, it's going to be a fun little bar right where our legs are at. Alright? And then we can successfully say that you look below our waists. But, besides that unnecessary line, the review of the T15. Alright, for this first part, we're going to actually be talking about the looks of the T15. And one thing we do have to say is that this thing does look like a 1-to-1 scale of an AR.
It's pretty accurate.
Minus the tank, of course. But, you know, it's a tank in stock. You can't have a tank in stock and have it look like a real AR stock. Yeah. But besides that being said, seriously, it looks exactly like a 1-to-1. A lot of people that actually see this marker when I play here and or go to events, they're like, dude,
it's an airsoft gun or a real gun.
Yeah, either one of the two, and it's crazy. And the thing is that I really like too is that you can take a lot of furniture from the AR-15 or airsoft guns and all that if you don't want to spend that price. Just like this rail, which is an aftermarket, is an airsoft rail. The real rail is $230. I'm not going to put a $230 rail on a paintball gun, even though it's an amazing paintball gun. But I'm still not going to spend that much.
Yeah.
And the same thing, you got your foregrips. You can change out the grip. And that's one thing I want to say is that
the stock grip is just horrible.
It's not horrible. It's rough. It's rough to the hands. I like to baby my hands a little bit, but it gets the job done, but it just doesn't feel as comfortable. And I already know that most people who do get a T15, they're already gonna put an aftermarket grip on it.
Yeah.
I already have mine. I haven't put it on because there's one little thing which one of you guys actually brought up is that you have to tap a little hole right here. Actually, you got to make it bigger just so a spring can go through.
I'll add footage of that right about here in just a second.
Well, not covering our faces.
Not covering our faces. More like over here.
Yeah,
Either
more
way,
like
it's going to be here.
Or we're going to be like, here's a video to do a little modifications to the T15, which I'll also show because to put this rail on, because you got the barrel sleeve on, you do have to take a little bit off the actual hand guard just so it can slip on perfectly.
Yeah.
Because these hand guards are not meant for barrels that can take a freaking 68 caliber barrel.
Yeah.
All right. They're meant for like 5.56 or 2.33.
They're not going to be.
They're not going to be gigantic. All right. Another thing, it does disassemble just like a AR-15, which is great. Pull this pin out. Shotguns open, and then you pull all the internals with one pull. Easy, especially when you're out in the field and you need to clean something out. Another thing I like to add, which actually kind of made me a little giggly, is that when you do take the magazine out, just to let you all know, it's not loaded, so don't look at me because there's no barrel cover on it, is you can take a real AR mag, slap it into the mag well, and it will hold it.
Yeah, I didn't know it could do that. I mean, I should have known because it's pretty much the same exact release on it, but yeah, apparently you can.
Yeah, so that's just how far Tiberius went to actually making this a 1-to-1 scale of a paintball.
Yeah.
Also on the looks though, I know there's only one. There's only the stock barrel for it. We're talking to Hammerhead, see what they're doing. I already know a few of you actually modified the barrel to actually take barrel adapters.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is neat. Actually, I was actually thinking about doing something like that, but I was always too scared of actually doing it to the barrel. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up, then I have to call up jail and then be like, I screwed up, man. And he's just gonna look at me like, no, deal with it, bro. But yeah, you guys, some of you have been able to modify it where you can take any threaded barrel and so on and so forth, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's freaking cool.
That's great. Kudos
really
to you.
like that.
And also to one of you for actually doing an aftermarket charging handle. That was pretty neat. That was really ingenious. And I plan on doing the same thing to this one, just because it just adds more to it. It's just a more aesthetic feel. Now, also on the looks of the weight. Weight is good. This one, it does have a little bit of a heft to it because the tank is in the back, and you do have a big barrel in the front. And of course, you will have a little bit of an aftermarket handguard. but it's not like what. Like, come on, we're talking about mag-fed scenario markers. You know, we're not talking about the latest and greatest, you know, speedball guns, which weighs less than a pound with the tank, with the hopper filled with paint. I'm not talking about that. Honestly, I don't even want a paintball marker that light. You know what I think when I hold a light marker, it's gonna break easily.
Yeah.
As soon as this.
The TM7, I like it, but it just feels it's gonna snap in my hand. I don't like that. I'm not cool with that. When I first felt it way back when it first came out, I was just like, wow, that selector switch is gonna break off. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Less is not more sometimes.
Sometimes. But one thing we have to give them, the whole entire, the main body of this thing, metal.
Yeah.
There's no plastic on this thing. There's only one part that's plastic, and it's
The hand grip.
oh yeah, the hand grip. You know, the hand grip and the stock. But I'm talking about like the main body.
The lower is it?
No, it's all metal. Metal. You know, which
And it's still pretty light because they did a minimalist design of an actual AR.
yeah. So
They're not doing stuff like Scarab arms. I mean, it's all metal except for the lower.
and the
That
lower
thing's
breaks
still,
easily.
Like, twice as heavy as that,
Yeah.
but it's a big, like 416 looking thing, or a Scar. But the original TGR2s were like 416s, and they were pretty heavy and bulky. You know? But this, I mean, I had a lot of people hold it at the Mag 5 event, and they were all surprised at how light it was.
Which is a good thing, you know. Not too light, but has a good amount of weight to it, so you can feel it. You know it's in your hands. You know you don't feel like it's gonna fly out of your arms. But yeah, just the looks of it is phenomenal. You know, absolutely phenomenal. And for those who start complaining, I'm gonna just take like 5 seconds of this. Yeah, the forward assist button does push. It does absolutely nothing, and you don't need it to do anything. All right. You just don't. All right. Before I'll make another video about this, describing things paintballers want that you really don't need. But that's another thing we're talking about the T15 to review. All right. And next we're actually going to talk about efficiency. Efficiency is a fun one. Coding, since you were the only one that was able to get a full amount of efficiency out of it, because I played on small fields with this gun, as you can see in the videos.
Yep.
He was actually able to go to the Mag event and played on the big fields. And I'm going to stop talking and let him just go on about that.
So on a full tank, on a decently humid day, about 100% humidity, and about a 90-degree weather, I got 9 mags out of a full tank, and that's pretty good. I mean, albeit I don't think I was getting full fills, but probably just under 3,000. I wasn't paying too much attention. But I do know that on every fill I would run out of mags, because we only have 2 magazines for this thing as of right now. You know, there's a shortage of magazines. I would go through 2 magazines and just keep going and just getting off the field, reloading the mags, and not having to worry about the air. This thing is really efficient, and I was surprised. And you know, we have a lot of experience with the TGRs, and we expected the TGR performance, which is still pretty good in comparison to the old Mil-Sigs and the old like RAP4 guns. But this is leaps and bounds over that in terms of air efficiency. It's pretty impressive. I think on a good day, if we had a full 3,000, we can definitely get a little bit more than 9 mags. I'm not making any promises, of course. Some results may vary, obviously, from person to person. But for me, and for this marker, I believe I can get almost 12 mags off this thing on a full fill on a decent day.
And he said he didn't get any drop off when he actually started getting a little bit low on the air too, right?
No, it absolutely didn't drop off. It was consistent up until the very last shot. You know, somehow I did it. I don't know how, but I enjoyed it. My first long experience in T15, if you guys haven't seen my video, I'll give a link to it. Yeah, but it's going to be a phenomenal marker once I work out the little bit of the kinks that we've obviously been hearing about. But as for my first experience with it, I had a blast. And I guess I got lucky. Nothing went wrong the entire day. And there's nothing else to say about it. It was efficient, it was accurate, and you know, it's form follows function, which makes sense. So.
And also on the efficiency, Of course, you know, I do, like I said, I do play it here, and the most I'll ever go through is 6 mags, maybe, and to me, I feel like I shot way too much, you know, doing that. But, yeah, the efficiency on this thing is great, you know, and, you know, before all, you know, some of you come out like, hey, there's a few issues with it. We're not saying this one didn't come with any issues, alright? It did, but that's what they need marketing, you know, like, come on. You would think Microsoft, a multi-million-dollar company, billion almost even, alright, when they came out with the Xbox One, all those first gens, they were, what were they doing? Were they eating the CDs or something that you put in the CD and you heard, wow,
Yeah, well,
and it ate the damn thing?
the Xbox 360 up until now still rings.
Yeah.
Like, but here's the thing: when you buy a new marker, technically speaking, in the past for like a $1,300 Ego or even an A5, they have been developing those markers for years and years. MagFed is a new thing that's been coming out strong, at least over the past 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
All of these other types of markers have had 10 plus years to kind of develop their technique. So 468s, milsigs, all of the didams,
SARS.
I mean, they all have their problems. And whether or not you hear about it or not isn't the fault of the marker, it's the fault of the people using it. The community itself has a choice when something goes wrong like this. We can either band together and get it fixed, or we can bitch and complain about it. And that's just the two ways it goes. And you make your own choice. We chose to fix our own problems, find out what's going wrong, and inform the manufacturer in a kind, precise, scientific way. This is what went wrong with us. We were able to fix it like this. In the future, keep this in mind. And yeah, that should be the priority of the manufacturer, but if you guys know the history and the story of the release of the T15, it was a little rushed, and not in a bad way, luckily for development, because the TGR, that was rushed.
That was very rushed.
If y'all have a TGR and you think it's good now, oh yeah,
you're welcome.
You're welcome, because we're not saying it was all because of us. We're saying that we helped Rami and James out a lot in terms of finding out what's going wrong and how to fix it.
And it's like, even like one of our teammates, the package, got, a few of us lived together. The package got sent in and he grabs it, and the first thing you want to do is just air it up and just start pulling the trigger, and you hear it ping. But he didn't understand that it's a blowback. You rack it before you put air in it. Because remember, there's the hammer is applying pressure to the release pin. So when you try to air it up, it's already open. It's not going to seal itself. It's not going to push that spring back. You do that yourself. And also, even when you do get like a brand new DM13, or I don't even know, I don't call those people guns. I don't know what's the latest, greatest right now. But if you ever read the manual, it always says before you use this marker, make sure it has fresh batteries, it's properly lubed, all the screws are tight, and you pretty much do all that. And it's the same thing like when you buy a car. Like when I got a brand new 2014 Honda. You know how when you first order it and then they go, all right, you're gonna have to wait for a little bit. It's because yeah, they're getting it detailed, but they also have a mechanic look into it, making sure it's a little green for you. It's good for you, so you don't get into it, and then the tranny falls out on it.
Yeah.
Even though it was on the production line and you got people who are making sure everything's good, things loosen up, especially in transit.
Yeah.
Come on, it's going from a high altitude to a low altitude.
Vice versa.
Or vice versa, or it's in the trunk and it's feeling vibrations. Stuff gets loose. Heck, even this foregrip that I got for it, I had to make sure every screw was tight, before I slapped it on. It wasn't like 100%. 130, actually not 100%, it wasn't 130%. All right, and the reason why I say 130% because all markers are 100% until you touch it and make it 130%. Yeah. All right.
At that point, it just goes back to 100% because there can't be 130%.
Yeah, but besides that, now let's see, we did the looks, we did the efficiency, accuracy-wise. All right, yes, it is running a stock barrel,
A smooth bore stock barrel.
Smooth bore stock barrel, and of course everyone's like, we want rifle.
Okay.
Wait, it's gonna come out. There's gonna be more stuff. All right. there is more things coming out for this marker. All right, plain and simple. There are, you know, I'm Hispanic. I had
I'm a graduate.
All right, but even with the accuracy, when we were, you know, when I was playing it with Triple was playing it, we didn't have a problem hitting people. And remember, he was in humid conditions.
Very humid.
And we already know what that
Like
does.
we got a lot of bounces, but you know, the first time I used this in the first round, I shot 3 or 4 times to pin somebody down, and the next shot, one shot straight to the guy's mask, exactly where I wanted it to go, and just boom, right in the middle, and then it just continued from there on out.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And I had a couple bounces that day, but it was paint. But accuracy-wise, I personally don't need a scope or sights. I can triangulate with my left eye and get it on target. That's how I was raised to kind of develop my own technique to shoot. I don't need sights.
Little weird
for paintball guns. It's weird, but it's efficient.
But as to me, I like using a holographic, which I need to get.
I like using sights too. I just don't need them.
I like it for. I like to make sure that one shot hits perfectly. The reason why you can do that with the pistol because it has iron sights. You aim, you know you're aiming, and pull that trigger. And as long as you don't jerk it, freak out, or you shake like an epileptic, you're gonna hit him. You know. Yeah, the same thing like if you were to use an iron sight on here, that's perfectly zero, or a red dot, or a scope, or whatever. All right. But accuracy-wise, it shoots great. For some of you that say it shoots a little high, you know, yeah, I thought the same thing too. Actually, one of our teammates, another one of our teammates.
It shoots high and to the left. From where, when you think, if you aim straight down the rails, if you look straight down the rails, for some reason it'll shoot high and to the left.
I never had that problem.
That's weird. I mean, because you're insane.
I'm just lucky.
You're not lucky. But all of us normal people, if we look, I mean, just straight down, if I do this, and I'm looking straight down the rail, and I'm like, oh hey, the barrel's right here, and it should hit a little bit below where I'm. No, it'll shoot up into the left for some odd reason. It's just probably a perspective thing, and that's an optical illusion. But as soon as I took a few test shots, I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. I was able to just Kentucky wind it and hit very accurately on my targets.
One thing we didn't talk about, kind of jumping from the accuracy, because it was pretty simple. Just know your craft. But breakdown. Okay, I took this marker down. Cody, how many times do you think I've taken this marker apart?
A lot.
What? And you're all wondering, what number is a lot?
A whole bunch of lot.
I would honestly have to say over 50 times.
See.
All right. Now, normally I don't like taking something apart a million times because I feel like I'm a screw up a part. I'm a threat. I'm
over a strip of threading or something. Yeah.
Something of the sort. But this, when you disassemble it, now of course I'm not going to do it right here because there's no bench in front of me. If I had a table in front of me, then I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this apart in front of your eyes, like before you can even see it. But actually, even then, like, look, I'll even do this because I even feel safe doing this. I can take I love this handguard. I can take the bottom part off. It's great, so I don't have to mess with the grip or whatever. Take it off, mags out, and mind you, it's air. There's air in here, and it has a 3,000, a little bit below because of the heat. But
caveat: we know the PTR and the 468 can do this.
But why shouldn't markers be able to do this? Okay. All right. But look, take here. My fun little tool here.
Or if you have a Leatherman Mutt or EOD, you can just use the AR punch. It's pretty much the same thing.
But I don't have that because
you're lame.
Poor.
You're lame.
But
you're like a lame horse on race day.
Pull the pin out.
What?
Internals. Slide this pin out, and the pin will not fall out.
Yeah, I like that. The TTR, I did like how it didn't shotgun properly like this.
No. Broke apart more like an A5.
You took the 2 pins out and then you pulled everything out the back. That was still cool. But what I didn't like is how these push pins, you can take them all the way out, and on a modern rifle, you'll see that that's not going to happen. You're going to push them out, they're going to stay in place, and you push them back in. So you never have to worry about losing them, or losing them, or losing them somewhere. You don't have to lose them. They just stay in the lower. And if you lose your lower, now you're just screwed.
Well, look, you got the complete upper receiver right here. All I have to do is push down on here, pull out the internals. I can pull out the bolt, service the bolt, lube it up, make sure it's happy, fine, dandy, so on and so forth. you know, mind you, it's still aired up. Can you hold that for me, please? And then you got the bottom receiver right here. All right, side note, yes, I know some of you guys' ball bearings right here are breaking apart. All right, Gio addressed it, and if you haven't heard, all right, you gotta understand, for the first 200 of these markers that they did, mind you, mine is serial number 25, all right? What do you do? Okay. You know, this is the first time these guys were putting the T15 together. Remember, everyone was rushing you. You know, you guys were rushing. You know, some of you were rushing them. I'm not going to say names or whatever, because even I was doing the same. You know, I was going, Gio, like, Gio, what's going on? What do you guys need help with? What's the problem? You know, what it is. Because, you know, I know some of you guys were, like, looking at me, too, like, hey, what is going on? I understand that. But some of you, the ball bearing wasn't pressed in properly, and it popped out.
Yeah.
Now, me, we went over 2,000.
Oh.
And I even dry fired the hell out of this thing. Even though, you know, I really don't like dry firing, but as much as I can, I do paint through it. But I did go over 2,000 air trigger pulls on this. And mine's perfectly fine. You know, I don't see it coming out. It's not jiggling on me. I'm just, again, I'm naturally lucky. You know, so on and so forth.
I used it too, and it didn't happen to me, so...
That's big there.
That's pretty big.
Cody's very unlucky when it deals with
That's a big deal, I tell you what.
But, alright, now that we got, you know, now we got the lower receiver, you know, before we digress one more time. Then you got more push pins. It's these three. 1, 2, 3. Pin, pin, pin. Pull them out. Then you can take out the trigger frame. No, not the trigger frame. I'm sorry. Trigger group. Yeah, the trigger group. That's the word I was looking for. The trigger group. You take off the air block, and it's easy to service. It's amazing to service. All right. You know, and then just as I was talking here, I just pull these pins out, which I won't lose, which is amazing, because I always have a fear of, like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Slap it back in. Close this here, and because it is aired up, if I were to push any harder, listen, it does that.
Watch and listen.
All right? That's because the bolt is forward. It's hitting the pin. So if you don't want that to happen, and you don't want to deal with this bloody O-ring that I'm dealing with right now.
See, if you don't do it properly, you're going to have a bad time. And that means your O-ring is going to slip out, and you're going to have a worse time.
Now, it's properly in.
You're watching? This is amazing. Watch.
Pull the charging handle.
Pull the handle.
Release slowly. Grip. And this is me just not having hand strength. Okay, now I'm a little pansy and I just don't have hand strength. Now if I hand it to Cody here, he could do it in one full swoop because he's a Tesla. I'll help him with the charging. Hold on. There we go.
It usually doesn't take two people, but we're on a bench and sweep.
But now, even though you did see that, and we're still going to post it up because you're pretty much watching this, so you think, oh, well, you shouldn't have to do that. Think. If it didn't have that much pressure, to apply onto the upper and lower, because remember, you got that little O-ring that goes up to the bolt sleeve, there's not enough pressure, then you're going to have a gap, you know, in the seal. And
You're
then
going to leak, and you're going to be pissed off if ever you reset it again.
But the reason why it's on like that is to make sure it has a complete seal. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that why does it do that? But then I thought about it, you know. I thought about it, I was like, oh, because they want a proper seal so you don't have a leak, so that O-ring doesn't pop out or go anywhere.
Here's the thing. If you have this thing working spot on, which it should work spot on most of the time, you know, things happen to markers. Once they polish everything, and you're going to open up the box, and it's going to work right off the bat after charging the charging handle and then airing it up.
And making sure there's lube in it before you, even though the tank's already on it, take it off. There's no in the tank. Take it off. Take some oil and just 2 drops. Put it back on. Take the bolt out. Throw some hater sauce on it. Whatever. Dr. Slidewell's We don't care as long as it's. Okay, now we're gonna get like emails from like these lube companies like, oh well actually, as long as you put a good lubrication on the bolt and in oil in through here, then it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Then your braking in period is actually gonna be a little bit easier since it's not just pure friction on friction. But heck of it and lube it up and put grease on it because it's in transit.
Fun little story. They did that to the TGR. The very first TGR2s? Yeah. I had to quality check a couple hundred of those because they did that. That's a bad idea, so don't even think about it.
Now, getting back on topic on this review, which is probably about like 30 minutes. But you know, whatever. You guys watch, I've seen some videos go like an hour. I was like, who's gonna watch an hour of this?
See, at least we're entertaining.
I know.
Yeah.
A little bit. We don't have fun little cartoons of us.
I don't have cartoons. No, I can't draw. I don't have toys. I don't have props, unfortunately.
Oh, well, we do have props. We do have a pretty good backdrop.
I like the blue light.
Yeah, the blue light.
Pretty bitchin'.
Because technically we are armed.
Yeah.
But besides all that, you know, we love this marker. You know, like I love the heck out of it. I'm not done upgrading it. You know, I want to change out the trigger guard. I do want to change out the hand guard. I am looking at, you know, getting a different buttstock. Or of course still a tank in stock, but you know, I do like that nice Maxwell PCR looking one or the MOE one, so on and so forth. Of course, I already did the hand guard. That is Jesus. Yes. That is our teammate Loco, who keeps calling us. We probably didn't tell him that we're actually recording.
Someone forgot. I didn't even know until you picked me up. So
yeah, we should have told him, but you know. We had to do this, all right? No more distractions. Also, for those wondering, you know, who want to put a 1-point sling on it, this piece right here does come out. You take the stock off. There's, you know, 2 screws you got to take out. You can change this piece of metal to put on the 1-point sling rings, which is great. You know, the only reason why I haven't done it because I just figured out that I hate 1-point slings. All right, just hold it, set it down, just whatever. Okay. I might run one on a big game, but they're getting away from me. Whatever. All right. Now, I will say this before I end this, because I know some of you like, you didn't talk about first strikes. We have not shot a serious game with first strikes.
No, I haven't had a lot of experience. He hasn't. I just used regular paint. I used I used 3-star when I had the Mag 5.
3-star, graffiti, heat, you know, but we haven't shot first strikes. Yeah, we did have like maybe 1 mag of first strikes, but we were shooting at a target and it wasn't necessarily zeroed when I put my scope on, where we're trying to really Kentucky wind it with 6 rounds. But once we actually do have a serious game, which is probably going to be the Cave Nations, when we do have nothing but mags of first strikes, then we'll be like, all right, we shot this with first strikes. Now, we have to keep people up. But now I do want to say this. I do have a video, if you actually look, of me using a T15 at the last Cave Nation before this even whole time marker was released, and I did have nothing but first strikes. Alright, they go like, here's a gun. We want you to hit that tree over there, which was about 250 feet. I don't know, it was far. And I was hitting that same spot over and over. And mind you, it was just iron sight. I wasn't using no scope. I was using no red dot. I was just sitting there, just firing. You know, and was hitting that spot right in between the tree just over and over and over. So I loved it. I can't wait to do it out of this one. You know, and of course when I do, I'll let you guys know, you know, how it went for me and what the and how it went. Now, one last thing before we you know, depart from here is, as I lose my bloody train of thought. Buddy, what's I about to talk about?
I have no idea.
Oh, come on, you're gonna say something. There. Okay, for those who are about to say, where's the mechanical full auto? Shove it. I'm serious. Shove it. Yeah, you have 20 rounds.
Get over it.
You know, you don't. Why do you need full auto? Like, oh, I want to suppress someone. Dude, just firing 2 rounds out of it will keep someone's head down.
It's true.
All right. If you're
done it.
Like, yeah, just watch this video. Even me, I went pow pow, put his head down, moved, easy peasy. All right,
but squeezy.
Yeah, they're probably still gonna come out with one. When they do, amazing. You guys can be happy. Also, there's not gonna be a box back.
He said they're coming out with them. I heard him. He said it. It's It's what you guys are thinking because you said probably.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're thinking.
Or someone else is going to do it. But other than that, it's a great marker. We hope everyone gets as much joy out of it as we do. Honestly, leaving the last point thing, something you take away from the whole entire review of the T15 is that even if a great company such as Tiberius Arms makes it, or Millsig, or Dye, or Empire, or Mini, or Inver, whatever bloody hell all these companies have, you gotta understand, nothing is going to be 130% when you take it out of the box.
There's always a break-in period, and something's always going to be underpowered, overpowered, or loose. You just gotta tighten it up a little bit.
That's just how it goes.
Especially for companies that are getting into newer technologies and newer fields.
But I will be having a full, complete breakdown video of this thing, or me and him will do it. Of course, we don't have a table in front of us.
It's all you, bro.
That's all. Okay, so he apparently it's gonna be me. I'll do a complete breakdown. I'll even tell you what every little part is called. And even one part in here is called the crack pipe, which is hilarious because the guys over at Tiberius call it that. It makes me giggle a little bit. But this marker is great. We still love our pistols. We still use them. We still, Dragonfly. There it is. Still buzzing around. But we love this marker. And if you guys need any help with this thing, if you got your phone and you're like, hey, it's doing this, let Radar or myself know. We're on the T15 page. The Tiberius on this page.
I'm available.
Or just put it in the comments. Just let us know and we'll help you out. We're not gonna be like, and just blow you off. No, we'll help you out. And of course, we'll talk to you guys at Tiberius. If we can't figure it out, they will, and we will let you know.
Yeah.
Alright? And last but not least, this is Deadpool.
And Radar.
And we took way too much time on this review. Have a good one.